Hey everyone, this is Leila Kiga from Kara Communications and leilakiga.com, where we teach purpose-driven entrepreneurs all they need to know about personal branding and communication so they can build personal brands that don't only look authentically and aesthetically good, but also works to meet their business and career goals and connect them with their target audience. So today let's talk about how to build or how to brand yourself as an expert. You see, you want to be branded as an expert because this is how you will attract your ideal clients to you. We have to see you as an expert in your craft. And let's talk about the branding behind that. And the philosophy that I like to use and that I teach is called personal branding. If you've followed me for any length of time, or if you've known me for some time, you will remember, or you might remember 4 or 5 years ago, I actually began talking about personal branding. And a lot of people didn't know what that meant. And many still don't know what it means today, but I am a huge proponent of personal branding. Personal branding is when you brand yourself versus branding a company. That's a subject for a different day. And you'll see that it's something that so many experts do today. For example, when you think of Oprah Winfrey, she has a very strong personal brand. For all of you who love marketing and content creation, you must have known of Gary Vee or Gary Vaynerchuk. He has a very powerful personal brand as well. And locally, we can talk about Samuel Eto'o. That's a very powerful personal brand. We can also talk about the First Lady, Chantal Biya. She has a strong personal brand, one that is known all over Africa. Tony Elumelu, he's well known. That's a very, very strong personal brand we can refer to. You will realize, or you will notice, that they all brand with their first and their last names. And that's something you should also consider doing if you're trying to establish yourself as an expert. Because you always have your first name or your names, right? Your company name may come and go. You might want to change your company name sometime. You might want to change it to suit probably the evolution of your brand. But your first and last name will stay forever. And that's the idea about how to brand yourself as an expert. You have to use your first and your last name. This means that you should have a URL. That's your first and your last name. For example, I have leilakiga.com, and I've been using it for quite a long time. If you realize, my social medias have my name, Leila Kiga. And even when I do some content, especially when it comes to my personal pages, you always see leilakiga.com, or you always find me putting myself or my name in some way, whether it be as an underscore or something, but you always find it there. This is an important part of your expert branding. And also, you want to use your photo a lot as well. Besides your names, you want to use your photo a lot as well, because it's not just about your names. It's also about your identity, what you look like. And so you want to consider investing in professional photos. Lots of them. But don't be afraid as well to grab your cell phone and take pictures of yourself doing different things. Take pictures of yourself creating content, working on a computer, chatting with people, at an event, sharing with people, I'm not saying you should be narcissist, but I'm saying that I think it's time we come out of the closet a little more, so to speak, and really start showcasing us doing the things we love doing in our expert status. A lot of people do great things and wonderful things, but you don't see them coming out there and showcasing it so people can see them doing those things. There is this African cultural thing that wants to keep us behind. We want to think that by staying behind and not coming out and showing ourselves and talking about what we can do so people can know us and go in for our services, we think culturally it's being humble. But I've learned over the years not to subscribe to that philosophy or to that ideology. Doing that, especially when you have something to offer your world, is being selfish. It's being selfish, because when you know that people need what you have, you're going to put yourself out there, and you're going to put it out there because you want to make a difference. You want to bring change. And so this cultural thing has been holding us back a lot. They say when you come forth and you want to show yourself and say, hey, this is who I am, I can help you with this. They think it's bragging, it's showing off, but that's not what it is. It's simply saying, hey, I can help you if you would give me the chance. And there's no way people are going to know you can help them if you don't put yourself out there. And one of the ways of putting yourself out there is by using your name. Use your name. I use my first and my last name, Leila Kira. It's on my blog. I use it to byline my articles if I'm writing somewhere. I use it to brand content graphics if I create them for my personal pages. I use that a lot, just so people can know that, hey, this person, this name can help them in doing this. And also, I use my pictures as well. I put them on my profile. I use them at times when I'm creating content, just so people can say, hey, can put a face to this content, can put a face to that name, and can relate with a person that is doing this. That's something I really encourage us all to get into. That's one of the most powerful things you can do as a personal brand, because people relate with people. And so when you spend your time hiding behind a name or hiding behind a brand that is not so human, you will get clients. Don't get me wrong. It's going to work. Like I always say, having a personal brand does not mean you can't have a business brand. I have a business brand that has its name. I mean, business brands, even I have two of them. There's Kara Communications, there's House of Kara. Those are two different names. But I don't stay behind and I let my personal brand not come in play. I use my personal brand to influence and drive the conversation about the things I do. Because the more you get to know me, the more you get to understand why I do those things. And you can relate to my businesses because you know the person and you know why I do those things that I do. It's very important for us to consider this also. The second piece I want to share with you about being an expert is you really need to have a niche. Okay? You need to have a certain expertise that you're throwing the stakes in the ground and saying, I am an expert in this. For example, I say I'm an expert in teaching go-getters how to build authentic and aesthetic personal brands that appeal to their target customers. That's my stake in the ground. So tell me, what's yours? You might want to think about this as well. It's very important. Really figure out what that niche is. And if you're not quite sure, be a little bit broad. And as you work with more clients and you have more exposure and you have more experience, you can narrow it. But get as narrow as you can for now and claim it. Go out and rant about it. Talk about it. Let people know what you're doing. This is an essential part of your personal brand. And the final tip I want to share with you is to always be sharing your expertise. Ask yourself every day, how can I share my expertise with my tribe? It could be via blog posts, social media posts, video, podcast interviews, live streams, webinars. You can even write a book, create graphics with your unique thought. These are all the ways you can share your expertise. And you need to constantly be doing that so that you can elevate your status as an expert in your field. For example, what I do is I blog, I share graphics. From time to time, I do videos. All of this just because I want to share my expertise. I write about the challenges I face. I write about tips that can help people move from one phase to another. I write about things that can inspire people to action. All of these help people know that this is a field that I have expertise in. It's a field that I can help them with. And the more you share those with your tribe, the more they get to know and appreciate you, and the more you stick in their minds. And when they see that, hey, they can trust you with this thing, they will definitely come and want to do it with you. And so if you're an expert or aspire to be known as an expert in whatever field you're in, I want you to consider these tips. Using your first and last name in your branding or in your marketing. Using your photos a lot in your marketing and your branding as well. Really claiming your niche. Throwing the stakes in the ground and saying, I am doing this. And then also sharing your expertise every day in every way. I hope these tips help you as you elevate your expert status. And if you need additional assistance, come on over to my blog, leilakiga.com. There you can learn about my coaching programs as well. You can also check out my blog for additional branding tips. So, until next time, cheers to your branding success.